Silver reached $65.48 on Friday, and since the market closed, the weekend news has become even more dangerous. Yemen's Iran-aligned Houthis say they launched a drone attack on Saudi's refinery, a major facility capable of processing approximately 400,000 barrels of crude oil every single day. Saudi Arabia confirmed that a fire broke out and was extinguished without injuries, although it is not officially confirmed what caused it. This matters for silver because attacks on major energy infrastructure can drive oil higher, increase inflation fears, and create new safe haven demand for precious metals. But higher inflation can also push interest rate expectations higher, meaning silver could move violently in either direction. And this comes after China dramatically accelerated its gold purchases. The LBMA suspended a Chinese gold and silver refinery, and Iran said its Hormuz agreement is closed but still will not automatically reopen the waterway. All of this happened while the metals market was closed. When trading reopens tonight for Monday's session, oil, gold, inflation expectations, and silver could all reprice at the same time. Even though what led silver to $65.48 on Friday was big, all of this news that happened over the weekend is bigger. So I guess we're just gonna find out on Monday morning if this news is going to push silver higher or lower. Alright folks, welcome back. Of course, we have more breaking news that's going to be affecting the precious metals market. Yesterday, in my video, I said literally every single day something big comes out that's going to affect silver prices, and I was not joking. Now, the Houthis have attacked a Saudi refinery. Now, why does this matter? Well, they attacked an oil refinery which produces up to 400,000 barrels of crude oil per day. And remember, there is a direct correlation between oil prices and silver prices. Plus, this is just more fear, more warmongering that's going to also be affecting the dollar and everything else. It's all tied together. And the fact that I think this is the sixth big thing that's happened over the weekend since the market closed on Friday. If you haven't watched my channel, you probably have no idea what the other ones were, but there's about 6 now that I've made videos about in the past 2 days, which is really why you should be subscribed, because I am definitely on it nowadays. Like, there is nothing going past me in the world of geopolitical, economical, industrial, fundamental, whatever it is news. I'm going to cover it here first. So this is big. We also have, so we're going to do this in a timeline. So we're going to go over what the Houthis did, and then we're going to go over the stuff about the Strait, which also is tied into what the Houthis did. And then we can tie that into this article that also came out today, silver under pressure due to rising oil prices and stronger dollar. And we could even go into this article, which is talking about gold and oil and Iran proposals to bar hostile vessels, because that also is tied in. We might not get to this last one. It is still relevant, but I think this one about silver will cover most of what we need to discuss. So, like always, these articles will be in the description. Let's jump into it. Yemen's Iran-aligned Houthis said they had attacked a Saudi refinery on Sunday, which is today, 2 days after the kingdom signed a defense pact with Turkey and Pakistan. The Saudi Energy Ministry said a fire had broken out at the refinery that was later extinguished without saying what caused the fire. It said the relevant authorities were completing procedures to deal with the incident, which processes 400,000 barrels of crude oil per day in southwestern Saudi Arabia. No injuries were reported, it added, even though I have seen some other news that said up to 7 might have been oofed, but I don't really know. So to keep this channel alive and not censored, I'm going to have to be censoring some words. Hopefully you'll be following along reading, so then you'll still see the word I'm talking about on screen, but just moving forwards, if I do just not say certain words, that's why, for the sake of my channel. So the Houthis targeted the refinery with a drone. Military spokesperson Yahya Saree posted on X. They had struck the Aramco sites before in Jazan and Yanbu on the Red Sea. Iran and its allies of certain armed groups have been firing on other Gulf states, blockading their energy shipments since the U.S. and Israel attacked its on February 28th in a major escalation after years of regional tumult. Aramco chief Amin Nasser said last week recent attacks on the company's facilities, the world's top oil exporter, had caused some production interruptions, but he was confident operations could be restored quickly. Confident and being for sure are two different things, but anyways, he said the attacks had no material, operational, or financial impact. These escalations, which disrupted global energy supplies and rattled the world's economy, prompted Saudi Arabia on Friday to form an alliance with certain people's allies, Turkey and Pakistan. The accord is intended to strengthen collective deterrence against any act of aggression and stipulates that an armed attack against any of the three would be regarded as an attack on all. So yeah, the refinery also produces gasoline and ultralight sulfur diesel. Now we have to go into this news that also came out today. Most Gulf bourses subdued as investors await Strait of Hormuz deal clarity. So this is from Reuters. Most Gulf stock markets ended subdued on Sunday as investors awaited clarity on Oman's proposed deal for new shipping lanes through the Strait of Hormuz. Iran said on Sunday that a deal with Oman to designate new shipping lanes in the waterway was in its final stages, but said it would reopen only after the U.S. met further conditions. And if you guys didn't see my video yesterday, I shared some of those conditions and the actual quote from them. So yeah, I really, if you guys have not seen like the 4-part saga I've made since Thursday, I mean, I make videos every single day, so really like the past several months saga, but the most recent stuff since I would say maybe Friday, I really would go back and watch those videos because you're missing a lot of context that's been happening. So yeah, I definitely recommend clicking the bell so you get notified when I post, because if you don't, then YouTube will only share certain videos and you'll probably miss a lot of the breaking news. So a U.S. official told Reuters on Friday that the agreement was close and could reopen the strait, which handled about 1/5 of global oil and liquefied natural gas shipments before Iran closed it after U.S. and Israeli attacks on the 28th of February. So, yeah. Now we can go into how is this affecting silver, or how could this affect silver on Monday. And like I mentioned in the introduction, certain reasons it could be violently upwards or downwards. So silver under pressure due to rising oil prices and stronger dollar. Silver prices under pressure despite the enormous geopolitical turmoil in the Middle East. At first glance, this seems contradictory because precious metals traditionally benefit from uncertainty, right? The explanation lies mainly in the strong increase in oil prices, which reached its highest level since 2022, and the financial market's response to it. By the higher oil price, inflationary pressures increasing, interest rates are rising, and U.S. central bank is getting less room for interest rate cuts, and we are seeing a stronger dollar, right? With less interest rate cuts, we're going to see, of course, higher or, stronger dollar, aka lower silver prices. If we had higher interest rate cuts, then that would do the opposite. So we will examine that dynamic and then answer the question whether this marks the end of the bull run for silver. Higher oil prices, higher inflation, higher interest rates. So here's an important question, though. Therefore, is how long the conflict will last, right? We could even talk about this for a second, because this is the biggest thing, right? So first they said it would be like a couple of days or like a week or whatever, but we're now in a situation where everyone is starting to get a little annoyed. They're starting to turn their back on Trump. And I'm not saying that from my opinion or anything. I posted a poll, which I'm actually going to show you guys the results in a second. You guys are going to get a pulse on everyone's thoughts about Trump. 2 days ago, so there's probably a couple thousand votes now, I asked, are you still supporting Trump? Yes, no, or I don't care. So we're about to show the results right now, and we're going to get an idea, and then we can move back to this because this all ties in, especially with when we saw silver hit 121 on January 29th. Every reason silver has held back from going back upwards has been about the Strait of Hormuz. So this war is definitely affecting it. But then we could also talk about how the U.S. is running out of missiles. There's a massive missile crisis actually going back 30 years. And that's for other reasons. I made a whole video talking about that. If you guys want to go check that out, I made last week. But let's just see what these poll results are for people if they support Trump or not. Okay, so here we go. 2 days ago, I made a poll. Do you support, or do you still is an important word because last year, maybe a couple of years ago, I made a poll and it was like 98% supported Trump. I'm not even exaggerating. It was like 96%, I think, with thousands of votes. So do you still support Donald Trump? 51% says yes. 38% says no. 11% says I don't care. Now, I could go to the comments, but you guys can go check the 105 I bet there's some interesting stuff in there. If you guys want to go have some fun and maybe make yourself giggle or get very angry, then go. All you have to do is go to my channel, go to posts. You see up here it says posts. Scroll down, and then go check this out. You're going to have some fun reading all that, I'm sure. But yeah, that's still interesting though. A little more than half of my audience still does support Trump. Now let's go back to why this is relevant. So, how long will the conflict last? Will it be a matter of weeks? Then the chance of permanent damage in the form of higher inflation and lower economic growth is small. Will the duration of the conflict escalate? Then it can be a different story. It depends on many different things. It depends how low are we really on weaponry? And what are the reasons, the real reasons why we are so low on weaponry? If it is silver related, then that could be very bad. Actually, regardless what the reason is, if we truly are very low on weaponry, that could get dangerous. Like I've said before, he who owns the gold sets the rules, but he who owns the silver wins the war. So I guess we'll just have to find out. Nobody knows. Not even Trump knows. Not even Iran knows. I mean, every day there's new things that are changing the scope, which is also going to drive people even more crazy, make them more on edge, which usually would actually help gold and silver. Like they were saying before, this is contradictory because usually times of economic uncertainty is good for precious metals. So anyways, let's keep moving on. So that's the important question. For the time being, the conflict means that there's less room for central banks to lower interest rates. In recent days, the market has therefore started counting on fewer interest rate cuts than previously expected. These shifts are currently causing strength in the US dollar and weakness in gold and silver. Like I said before, fewer interest rate cuts than expected. That's going to, of course, hurt precious metals. I don't even have to go into why silver is affected by a strong dollar. I think everyone knows that. I guess this is one last interesting question. Is silver's bull run over? I mean, of course it's not. It has a lot to do with this conflict, this war. So at the end of the day, this war is not going to last forever. Right? I don't think it will last forever. Eventually, things will come to an agreement, but at the time being, there's going to be things pushing and pulling silver to many different degrees. But as long as the war is going on, I don't think silver could do too much unless like a massive wrench gets thrown in. But until then, we're just going to see a lot of volatility. So anyways, I'm going to wrap this video up here. These are all my thoughts. I could be completely wrong. I know nothing. All I do is share all of these articles, and I throw my 2 cents out there. You could throw your 2 cents out there as well. I'm not saying that I know more than you because I don't. I just cover information, so you don't have to spend hours a day digging through the entire internet to find it yourself. I will do all the hard work for you and wrap it up in a shiny YouTube video for you, which is why you should probably subscribe. Anyways, thank you so much for tuning in. This was Silver Slayer. I will see you guys tomorrow. Peace.